There are very few places in the world where you can literally step back in time, and I'm at one of them, the East Broad Top Railway here in Rock Hill Furnace, Pennsylvania. It is a living time capsule that the Smithsonian itself described as one of the most intact 19th century industrial sites in the country. Nestled in the lush foothills of south central Pennsylvania lies a diamond in the rough, a railroader's heaven, where you are truly afforded a glimpse into our rich railroading past.
It's just an amazing place where time is frozen. So few places where you can see what a railroad used to be like, and so much of the original buildings, the original equipment is all still here.
The East Broad Top is the oldest operating narrow gauge railroad in the United States. Started back in 1872, the railroad has hauled everything from pig iron, coal, canister rock, timber, U.S. mail, and of course people that come from all corners of the earth.
The enormous volume of traffic that it carried at its peak in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, it was a big railroad in every way except for its gauge. It had modern equipment, modern locomotives, and heavy traffic that was crucial in World War II to the national defense.
The East Broad Top steam whistles echoed through these parts until the mid-1950s, when the coal business finally gave out.
In 1956, the railroad shut down, and it was simply pretty much a matter of people laying down the tools and going home and locking the door, so it was pretty much captured in time.
Like many railroads at that time that shut down, it was sold to a salvage company, destined to be scrapped. But this one didn't get torn up. After the owner of the salvage company visited the site, seeing all the historic equipment and buildings still intact, he just couldn't bring himself to tearing it all down.
The legend is that the locomotives he heard the locomotives talking in the roundhouse, that, who would be the first one to be scrapped. And number 12 said it was the oldest, and said that she'd go first, and Mr. Kowalczyk came in, which is Joe's dad, Nick Kowalczyk, and just didn't have the heart to do it. That's the story that Joe tells, but I think they saw the significance of it.
In February of 2020, the Kowalczyk family passed the torch to a new owner, the EBT Foundation, for them to carry on the vision of full restoration of this National Historic Landmark.
You're preserving a part of history that's not sanitized. It's dirty work. Everything's, we got a layer of soot or dust or grease on it. It's authentic.
Charles Wooten is part of an army of over 1,800 volunteers, all part of the Friends of the East Broad Top. Their group plays a key role in helping restore this railroad back to its 19th century glory.
Rebuilding structures, re-roofing structures, rebuilding windows, basically anything that the buildings need. We've got either the expertise or we find the expertise to get it done.
My God, with the small staff we've had, what we have done is truly nothing short of monumental.
Mains are running cold, we're good.
David and his team have their own monumental task: bring back to life one of EBT's steam engines. The last time number 16 operated was back in 1956 when the railroad shut down. It was put in the roundhouse behind me with the other locomotives. Not sure if it would be scrapped or ever see service again. Fast forward 67 years, and thanks to the loving efforts of the EBT to restore it, she's now back under steam for all of us to enjoy. It took just over 2.5 years to complete the rebuild.
Steam is what makes the East Broad Top in many ways. People have been waiting a long time to see steam return to the East Broad Top. This is really that moment that people have been waiting for.
Watching this locomotive in action is truly a sight to behold. The steam engine is just one of many things the East Broad Top Railroad has brought back to life. They also have over 24 structures that have been in or are in the process of being restored, along with a fleet of rolling stock, including passenger cars, diesel locomotives, and gas-electric motor cars. One of the most fascinating parts of the collection is housed inside the depot.
We are in the East Broad Top Railroad passenger station vaults. These are a series of bound volumes that came from the offices in Philadelphia after the railroad closed in 1956. Above me, the voucher registers, transfer registers, everything that you could imagine, and the financials and organizational records are found right here. The archives is an estimated 5,000 linear feet of materials, and these include bound volumes, ledgers, maps and drawings, train orders, and all of the organizational records of the East Broad Top Railroad.
Everything comes to life here at the East Broad Top Railroad, including the machine shops that are powered through an amazing array of belts from a stationary steam engine that's nearly 200 years old.
Yeah, it's very simple to engage the machines. It just slides the belt from an idler pulley to the drive pulley, and it's just as simple as moving the lever.
Truly, the East Broad Top is a sprawling museum in motion, no better appreciated than hopping on board one of its vintage trains. The railroad offers beautiful rides through pastoral central Pennsylvania. Its postcard beauty, pristine and untouched, just like all of the East Broad Top shops and buildings. A 9-mile round trip, so rewarding, both on and off the narrow tracks.
It's pretty incredible. You just don't get to see stuff like this come back from the dead, and that's really what it is. Most of this stuff gets scrapped and that's it. It's a picture in Grandpa's scrapbook. But it's a piece of local history, it's a piece of Americana. This was such a huge part of America becoming what it is. And yeah, I love it. I'm here for it.
On a cool winter day, through the bare branches, number 16 blasts clouds into the sky. Another successful resurrection by the East Broad Top Railroad. This is truly a one-of-a-kind place and a one-of-a-kind experience.
There's very few places where you're continuously doing something new at a 150-year-old historic site. We have the benefit here of having new, old things happen a lot. We have lots of firsts. Today was a first, and we'll be expanding the railroad to places that haven't seen a train since 1956. New cars, more locomotives. There's so much that's going to come down the pipeline.